Okay, going live. All right, we are live on the Junius Maltby channel. Thanks for joining me. This is a yearly installment, maybe buy-in. I've probably done these every 2 years at least. I try to keep up on where I typically look to when it comes to buying gold and silver bullion coins. And we're going to digress this time and look at two different sides of it. I want to look at a little bit of the numismatic side, just talk about it, because there are people that often bring that issue up for a variety of reasons, and I have no issue with it at all. I myself enjoy numismatics as well. But the main focus tonight is going to be the bullion side of things, getting your most weight for your buck. And I've got a list here that I made years ago. We will read through some of the notes. I was looking at some of the videos I had done on this very topic dating back years. I think the first time we did a video on this subject might have been 2013. Since then, the market for precious metals has changed dramatically over the years. And during these recent times, it has probably been the most chaotic and dramatic and difficult for people that are new to the stacking arena and those that might just be for the first time dipping their toes in precious metals. And so I just wanted to get this out there. I brought up a bunch of the websites that I think are great, that I use frequently at various times, and it's oftentimes random. Some of them are familiar to you. We've used them on raids here. And again, I'm not a representative. I do not own a gold mine. I have no ties to the precious metals world. I don't get, anything from any of these companies. I don't get any paid advertising, or I'm just here as a representative of all of the sites, precious metals, an advocate for sound money. And I just wanted to share with you, again, all the sites that I've got pulled up here and touch on some key points and just a few warnings. Again, this is just my opinion, my observations, my experience. You don't have to go with it. But again, we're on the verge of getting the stimulus checks here quite soon. So with those coming in, it would be a good idea to have a pre-plan, plan in place, what sites you plan on hitting. Again, we'll probably end up doing a raid at that time anyway. But as you join me this evening, welcome to all the patrons, Patreon members, all of the channel members as well. Good to see all of you in the chat. You filled up quick. There's quite a few of you. We got E.W. Fisher, Ray Finkel. We got Silver Ripples in there. Joseph Willis, Highland Stacker, Kangaroo Jack, Bill Spencer. Again, all good to see all of you. Good to see you. So really quick here. If you recall, if any of you have been on this channel for a while, you're familiar with my list, I hope. And there are some changes. Again, I'm going to read off a list and an opinion that I wrote during the very early videos when it came to where to buy and not buy precious metals. Now, obviously, some things have changed since then. Some of the companies that I will mention probably don't even exist anymore. A lot of them don't. I know that for sure. I don't know exactly which ones, and I didn't look them up because I don't even give their website a click or a hit. I know that they were bad from back then. They haven't changed. They're not going to change. And so I just ignore them and I try to steer people clear from them. I know a lot of people that get wrapped up in various different schemes when it comes to purchasing precious metals. And we're going to talk about those a little bit. But first thing we will do is I will just take you through my old written description of one of my earlier videos on the very subject. Now, first things we need to know. Again, if you're new to stacking, these are important points. So bear with me if you're a veteran. You all know these things, but we all learned at some point. There's a first time for everything, and again, I remember the first time I learned some of these key points. One of the things to know is spot price. Spot price is the market price which an asset is bought or sold for immediate payment and delivery. And it's also for very large contracts and bars traded on Wall Street and in between banks. Spot price is like the gross price for large bulk commodity purchases of precious metals in large bars. Now, for metals, this is typically raw metal in a large contract or a bar. We often refer to COMEX bars. I've posted them on the channel here. You've seen pictures of them. 1,000-ounce bars that friends and members of this channel have purchased recently. Now these 1,000-ounce bars, when on the COMEX, can sometimes come in a contract of 5,000-ounce contract, which is 5,000 ounces of silver. Those guys are paying, at one time, they were paying very close to spot, if not spot, with some handling fees. Of course, there were delivery fees, other things attached to it. But oftentimes, a new stacker, people that are getting involved in precious metals, the first question I get, the first thing they're shocked by is, wait a minute, the Wall Street Journal says spot is this. Online it says spot is this. But the people at the coin shop want this, which is premium, plus it's over spot. And you have to enter into that entire conversation on what premium is and why it exists. And of course, times change. There's obviously right now we're living in an unprecedented time for stacking precious metals, with premiums, quite high, quite significant. But even the premiums for spot, COMEX bars, the price over spot for those has come up significantly, tripled, quadrupled for many people, $1.60, $1.70, or even more for over spot for 1,000-ounce bars. I mean, you're talking about the premium over spot that some people used to pay for like even just silver eagles, and they're paying $1.70 over spot now for COMEX bars. That's really unheard of. But again, inflation's happening. The dollar is weaker. There's labor costs that go into producing and handling all of these things. And as the cost of labor goes up, so do premiums and, of course, the additions over spot price. I don't think there's a significant amount of gouging. I think a lot of this is free market. I believe that demand has outstripped supply, and that's the way you have to deal with it. So people that are free market advocates have to support that type of market behavior. Now, gold, again, talking about spot, typically comes in like 400-ounce London good delivery bars. You've seen them in very large bars. You're not going to pay spot for gold. None of you are. None of you are ever going to pay spot for gold, really. It's very difficult unless it's some scrap garbage. There's places that even buy gold bullion coins for like $20 over spot. It just depends. And this isn't about selling gold back to people or silver. This is about acquiring it yourself and buying it. So that's what we're referring to. You're not going to ever find gold for spot. Don't even think about it. You're not in that market. If you're turning into a YouTube channel to learn how to, where to buy and not buy gold and silver, you can forget about ever finding gold for spot. I've never bought it for spot. You won't. The closest you'll ever get to spot is probably going out and trying to mine it yourself. And there's a reason for this, and it's called the Signorage Charge. It's one of the things I've talked about in this channel for a long time. It's a long, bizarre word, Signorage, Seignoriage. It's the difference between the value of the money and the cost to produce and distribute it. Now, the Signorage is derived from specie, metal coins. It's a tax added to the total price of a coin. Now, obviously, we're not paying a tax when we pay a premium. But the Signorage term comes from coinage. I've learned it years ago in reading articles from different coin and gold and silver guys. But it is an important thing to understand. And knowing the definition of Signorage, realizing there's a cost to breaking down large bars of metal. I've talked about the supply chain of gold and silver for a long time. Obviously, it goes from mines to refineries to assayers, purification processes. There's Dior bars that come out of the mines that are rough. And then they obviously have to get refined better, assayed, stamped, handled, shipped, broke down, made into plankets handled, polished. They have to be made to exact weights and specifications for the particular bullion product or coin or round that are going to be struck. Then there's dies that have to be made, die processes, a lot of handling, and you get it. It's not just some simple process like you don't go into a mountain and dig up $20 or $50 gold eagles and Canadian maple leafs, Krugerrands. That's not how it comes out of the ground. There's a tremendous process that goes through getting it from the raw state to the final state of a beautifully polished and exquisite looking coin. Again, there was a time when that was referred to as a seigniorage, the production costs that a customer of the mint has to pay to the mint in order to acquire that coin. So again, making coins is not easy. There's costs to it, the purification, the weighing it out, the forming the plankets, like I said, the dies, the striking, the handling, the packing, and the shipping. Of course, you're going to pay shipping. That's a given. We're going to talk about that. Some places you get free shipping, which is kind of cool. If you buy enough or a lot of something, you'll get free. Again, this is a build-up. You have to understand these things before we enter the discussion here. So I know this is kind of an intro, a preface to the whole discussion, but you need to grasp these concepts. And this is why coins of smaller units always cost more than spot, and a lot more. So like, for example, recently I was looking at 10th ounce, just because they were interesting, 10th ounce silver coins. They're like $4, $5 each. That's, if you think about it, what's, 10 times 4 is $40. So a person's paying $40 per ounce if you were buying these 10th ounce coins for $4 and something cents each. One of the reasons for that is, again, it's the complexities of making them smaller and breaking the coins down further. And this is why these smaller units, these smaller coins, always carry a higher premium over spot than the bigger ones. Like if you want, typically the rule is you'll get the biggest bang for your buck when you buy the biggest amount of metal at a time in one chunk. Like a 100 ounce silver bar is always going to typically cost you less than 100 silver eagles or 100 kookaburras or 100 Britannias. There's really no comparison because the labor it took to make those 100 coins versus the one poured bar. I mean, you get it. I hope you do understand the concept here that I'm trying to get to you. And again, that's why the smaller you go, when you start breaking these units up, you're going to pay more than spot. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to understand that, be happy about it. It's the way the world works. Or as some of the elders in my life when I was a kid would say, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's it. There's nothing you can do about it. And I sometimes find myself being probably a little impatient when it comes to explaining that to new people, especially friends of mine. I had a friend recently actually just got into precious metals. I think it was the first time he'd ever purchased some silver. And he had questions about spot. Why is spot this and why am I paying this? And he bought some silver Krugerrands. And I almost got frustrated, but then I stopped myself and explained it to him. But again, it's one of those things. I guess the most frustrating part would be people that don't get it, that are trying to, I guess there's more of like the older crowd that they understand these things and they should know better. They've been buying eagles and such for 30 years, but all of a sudden they're complaining because, the premiums are X now rather than what they were when they were a kid or when they were in the 1980s. Like, look, man, it's not 1985 anymore. Show me anything that costs what it did in 1985 right now. Really, you're not going to. 1986, 87, 89, 90. Obviously, premiums have changed. The Signorage charges, the costs of labor to produce coinage have changed. So there's going to be a higher cost. You got to get over that and just buy the metal and suck it up. Or just don't buy metal and keep your fiat trash. The metal will be worth what it is. The Signorage charges will go up. The premiums will go up. And you can buy it later for more and get less metal. There's really no skin off my back. I don't really care. You do what you do. I do what I do. But here's my rules. Let's get to those, all right? It's funny when I real quick though, I read through when I made this. The first video I made on this, I said that the expect to pay $30 to $40 over spot on gold and $1 to $2 over spot for silver, depending on the volume or the type of coins. Can you believe it? That's how long ago I made the first video on this. I remember vividly at one time paying like $15 to $20 over spot for Krugerrands and thinking I was being taken. Gold Krugerrands. Way back. Long ago. This is long ago. But imagine paying $15 over spot for a gold Krugerrand and thinking that you're paying too much. Shows if only I could time travel. Now here are my personal rules. They're posted below in the video description. You can save them. You can keep them. You can bend them, actually. These aren't hard and fast. You can bend them if you wish, but I try not to myself. Now, rule number one, don't sign up for anything. No network marketing. This includes like the 7K metals guys. I don't know if you've ever been bugged. Like the Avon ladies of precious metals. Avon calling. Yeah, these are the guys that like you've known them once, you bumped into them once, and all of a sudden 10 years later they're contacting you or they're all over social media. It's the typical multi-level marketing MLM. They remind me of those 40-year-old women that are bored that have Facebook and their entire Facebook feed is like, what are some of those multi-level marketing companies they're all involved with now? You know the names of them. There's like makeup
There's
ones,
so many.
there's skincare
There's
ones,
leggings.
there's leggings ones.
Yeah.
And of course they're boss babes and they're employed now and they have this big their home business, whatever, but it's just a big giant like pyramid shaped object. It's a pyramid scheme. They're up here and they want to get three below them, they want to get them below them, and so on. Well, they have that with precious metals.
They get a cruise.
Yeah, they get a free cruise. And again, that's 7K metals, stuff like that. There's no reason to sign up for anything like that. I mean, ISN coins is another one. These are outright, plain, pure and simple pyramid schemes. They're trying to rip you off through monthly membership fees, which you should never have to pay a monthly membership fee. You're not going to save any money. It's not doing anything for you. There's various charges. One of them tries to hawk you a slabbed coin a month, from what I remember. I knew a guy that was into it once. They try to get you a slabbed coin a month, and they make you buy it, make you pay for it. Of course, you're getting charged way more than spot. They're typically worth about half the value that they ascribe to it. So again, just rule number one, don't sign up for anything. No automatic withdrawals, no monthly payments, just no network marketing, no clubs or memberships or anything like that. It's ridiculous. Do not sign up for that. That's it. That's enough on that. That's rule number one. Don't sign up for anything per Junius, especially network marketing. Number two, pay as close to spot as possible. Obviously, you have to be realistic. You're not going to get it for spot. I just spent the first part of this video saying you're not getting it for spot. But the goal is try to get it as close as you can. Look around. I got the websites pulled up here in a minute. Your job is to kind of shop around, look at your cart when you check out, see what the closest you can get to spot is, and go from there. But you're never going to get silver for what you see as a spot price. You're not going to get gold for the spot price, so don't even think about it. But try to get close if you can. Figure it out, do the math in your head, be a big boy, get your calculator out and figure out what the price is versus spot, and try to narrow it. Typically, don't pay extra. If you're doing this for the ultimate hedge, the ultimate dynastic wealth preservation over time, typically rule number three is I don't want to see you pay extra for graded slabbed or numismatic coins. Numismatic bullion, I'll call it. Now, numismatic bullion is when they take like just your routine regular bullion coins. They talk about like, you'll see U.S. Silver Eagles, MS69 from PCGS, fresh from a tube, fresh from a mint sealed tube, right? These are just bullion rounds. And then there's people out there that take these slabbed coins. Well, what they do is they buy monster boxes, they open up the tubes fresh, and they have PCGS grade them. Then they have to pay some guy labor to sit there and look at it in their microscope and come up with the obvious. Typically they're going to be MS69 every time. Some are MS70. There's really no shortage of MS69 Eagles because they all started out that way, and about 80% of them still live in tubes or in monster boxes. So there's quite a few. They're just a bullion round. You're just buying them for weight, for silver exposure, or gold exposure. Now, I understand some of them do get numismatic collectability because they're scarce that year. A particular mint mark or a privy might be acceptable. They might be like those 75th anniversary of VE Day, things like that. Those are coins you kind of want to protect, obviously. And I'm not saying they're a bad thing. I myself have some slabbed coins, and I'm willing to pay a little more to have a coin that's graded, that's slabbed, that's sealed and protected. Nothing wrong with that. The point of rule number 3 saying don't pay extra for graded or slabbed bullion is if you're just trying to get gold or you're just trying to get silver and you have the opportunity to buy a U.S. Gold Eagle that is slabbed or one that is not slabbed, and they're the same date, the same mint and all of that, and one is, $40 more expensive because it's in a little plastic holder and it says MS69 versus the other one, which is not graded, in a little plastic slip, it's probably in remarkable shape. I haven't seen very many Gold Eagles that were in rough shape. It's probably even MS69 as well. It just hasn't been graded. I would go for the one that's not slabbed, if that makes sense. The only time I would ever buy bullion, if I was out for the sole purpose of acquiring a bullion coin, or precious metals, where it was slabbed, is if I was getting it as close to spot as I could. There were times, and I've seen it, where people had access to slabbed coins, and they got them essentially for the same price as unslabbed coins. So the only point of this is, if you're going for bullion, you might want to steer away from the slabbed ones unless you're getting a really good deal on it. Now, I've got slabbed PCGS graded coins that are classic numismatic coins. I mean, they are, in my opinion, priceless. The fact that they are slabbed and they're guaranteed authentic, and the grade is there and all that. It's very nice to have graded slabbed numismatic coins. It's a completely different thing. It's more of a hobby, a collection, a historical piece. Yes, there's this precious metals component to it, but that's not really the reason it was graded and the reason it exists. I use it for examples here on the channel. I love them. I cherish them, believe me. And I do have even some bullion pieces. I'll share one with you soon enough. I have a 1987 slabbed Silver Eagle. Now, the reason that one's special to me is because that's the first Silver Eagle I ever owned, and it's slabbed MS69 PCGS graded from a mint sealed tube. Now, I wouldn't go out and buy 50 of those trying to buy Silver Eagles, but I have the one for its own little personal example, and it's special to me. But again, rule number 3 is just avoiding, and you can see these down below. Again, I put the list below, of not buying graded or slabbed or paying that extra bit. Now, numismatic coins, again, I will add this just because I know there's somebody out there that's probably questioning it, but numismatic coins are awesome. I love them. They have their own component and their own value. The amount of history they can teach you, and just where they've been, what they've seen, everything about them. So there are things. This isn't about that. The entire purpose of this video is trying to educate people on the most, getting the most for their fiat when they're trying to just get out of fiat and get weight. Your whole goal here is the most weight in ounces or grams that you can get for your buck. That's the point of this. Rule number 4, expecting immediate delivery of the physical. Now, again, we're gonna have to bend this rule a little bit. I mean, every single website you go to, it's anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks to 2 to 3 months to a delivery. Now, during these dynamic times, I'm willing to take rule 4 and say, okay, I understand. But during normal times and in the past, my rule had been, when my funds clear, when you have my money and the funds clear, I sure as heck better have a tracking number. That's just a good rule of thumb. Keep up on it, bug them a little bit, but hey, you want to get that tracking number, you want some good shipping, and make sure they're going to give you as immediate delivery as is possible with the times that you're in. I mean, obviously today we're in some interesting times. I had rule number 5 written down because I truly believe it's still the case. And I've never heard any of the sites that I pulled up here to show you on an AM radio. But here's a great rule for you. Perfect rule. If you hear an advertisement on the AM radio, that means if you're listening to Sean Hannity or Rush Limbaugh, rest in peace, any of those channels, Mark Levin, if you're on AM radio at all and you hear an advertisement for precious metals, avoid that company at all costs. Done. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't even message me. What about this or what about that company? The first question I would have then is, did you hear their advertisement on AM radio? Yes. Avoid that company at all costs. That's it. Done. That's just a rule that I have. You can do what you want. Again, you can do whatever you want. But if they're pushed by a talk show host like Glenn Beck, that guy, I'm not going to get too into it. I don't get too personal. He's kind of a clown. He's a circus monkey. I don't like him at all. We'll just leave it at that. You can avoid it. If an AM talk show radio host or a news personality like that, if Glenn Beck's telling you to, he got wrapped up in, I think, a controversy back then, even with one of the companies he was pushing because they were not that great. Avoid any company that is promoted by somebody like that, an AM radio or a talk show radio host. Just avoid them. Rule number 6, educate yourself. Don't be a sucker. That's the one thing. Don't be a sucker and keep your head on a swivel. Look around all the time. Don't even take my word for it. Don't. Absolutely. I'm not a financial, I don't know anything. Read my disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just another hobbyist like yourself. Not really obvious, but precious metal advocate, sound money advocate. You know what I'm saying. And educate yourself, do your own diligence on it, and research the sites that we're about to go through. And always, always, always do those price comparisons. Pull up these sites and bounce back and forth. Add the same product to your cart. Go to checkout, get your shipping order, and then look at the final price before finally checking out and see what you have set there. And you'll be able to then compare pretty accurately which ones are, and they should all fall pretty close to each other, I would hope, today. That's one of the great things about competition. They're all competing for your business. They all want it, and they're all going to try to get the costs down. I mean, obviously, if these people are trying to really charge too much, I think they're going to lose enough business to where people aren't going to pay attention to them or purchase precious metals through them. So I've got a list of the companies pulled up, and we'll take a look at them. The ones that I would tell you to avoid, and these are ones that I started with years ago, were, again, some of these might not exist anymore. Goldworth Financial, Lear Capital, Wholesale Direct, the U.S. Gold Bureau, Birch Gold. I've had some people talk to me about McIlvany. I know some people are really into them. I looked at McIlvany years ago. It just depends. They really try to push the confiscation theory on people. Like, hey, we sell you coins that can't be confiscated because they're numismatic. That doesn't mean anything to me, because if they're coming after metals, it doesn't matter if they're numismatic or not next time. That was just the luck of the draw back in the 30s. If you're going to preach confiscation stuff to try to hawk, worn out products to people or semi-numismatics to people for costs that are what I consider to be above and beyond what they should be, I don't really think you deserve my business. So that's just my opinion there. You can buy from them if you're comfortable. If that's something you want to do, that's fine. But I'm not a big fan of McIlvany, so I don't have them pulled up here. Again, that's just that. But again, I already talked to you guys about the 7K or ISN, avoiding them. Birch Gold, avoiding them. A lot of people I know, there's actually some personal testimonies I've read on my last videos on this where people had really negative family experiences with some of those companies that I mentioned just now. So let's just get right into the sites that I pulled up for you. I'm not going to go into all the prices or look into their prices, but I'm just going to show you really quickly, the sites that I pulled up. And I'll put the links down below for most of these as well. One of the new ones that I learned about this year, they're new to the list for me, that I've experienced as being a good site to use, is Silver Gold Bull. A lot of you have had extremely positive things to say and good experiences out of this site. So I recently did one of my raids through there. I had a great experience with them. They've got excellent diversity in products. And again, my whole point is I don't care what you get. I mean, everyone has different preferences. Bars, coins, over the years, depending on the environment. Sometimes I choose different products, whether bars or coinage. Some people don't like certain government bullion. I myself feel that way. I can definitely sympathize with the hatred for government images and government bullion coins and government products.
That's right.
Mrs. Maltby tends to agree. She buys 90% of her stuff is 99 or 100. I'd say 100% of Mrs. Maltby's.
Yeah.
100% of Mrs. Maltby's stack is non-government bullion. I'm not that way.
For the gifts that I get.
Except for the gifts, which you love because they have animals on them and stuff, which are beautiful. I'm not as hardcore into that because, again, my whole goal is getting metal off the market into the hands of the people. And again, my first bullion coin was right here. Front and center, the American Silver Eagle. I do like the imagery of it. I like Lady Liberty. I like the Western ideology of the Libertas, Columbia, all the symbolism. It's a classical design. Now, this isn't a slam on the U.S. Mint, but I could make an entire video, and I probably will again one day. I think people who are part of this channel know my feelings. I despise and hate the United States Mint. I don't like their products. I think they have a very poor design department, art department, and I think what they've done now is just pushed social justice warrior agendas, affirmative action, and filling quotas, just trying to appease everything and send almost like progressive cultural Marxist ideas through coinage. I avoid them at all costs now. The only coins that I purchase from the U.S. Mint are classical designs that were probably last engraved and designed back pre-1930s. I like the St. Gaudens Eagles, the gold eagle with the St. Gaudens design by Augustus St. Gaudens, and I like the what is it, John? There's the Mercanti reverse, and I don't forget the name of the guy that did the obverse of the Walking Liberty, the Silver Eagle Walking Liberty design. I don't like any of the new stuff. I mean, the differences in the artistry are quite clear to me. If I'm going to buy a government bullion coin, I think that the Royal Mint far exceeds any art, design, and engraving abilities over the United States Mint. There, to me, is no artistic ability in the United States Mint anymore. It's gone. They haven't had a good coin carved, struck, or designed by the U.S. Mint in almost 100 years. And I can say that because I know every coin they've ever made, and they're essentially anything in the modern era, in my opinion, for art and design for coinage is absolute trash. Everything. And that's including every state quarter, every national park quarter, all of it. It's like high schoolers could do better, I'm telling you. Or whoever the little applicants and prodigies that are studying at the Royal Mint could do better. That's that. I don't like their products. But again, if you choose to buy Perth Mint, British Mint, Royal Mint stuff, Silver Philharmonics from the Austrian Mint, Krugerrands, I don't care. Buy whatever you want. Get metal out of the vaults and into your hands. I've got other stuff pulled up. Private mints are great. There's a lot of great, amazing private mints out there. We're going to talk about that. You've got Golden State Mint. We featured them in one of our first raids. Phenomenal mint. Great products. They have everything that Chris Duane's put out from Silver Shield. He has a lot of great products. And again, he's not the only one. There's a lot of really good silver and gold put out by private mints. Quality silver bullion. They're now with Regency Mint, but they put out some good stuff back in the day. There's also Intaglio Mint. Mrs. Maltby has some Intaglio Mint bullion. Beautiful pieces. But you've got Golden State Mint here. This website carries a lot of different products. A lot of it's privately minted, and this is where we feature a lot of the Silver Shield stuff. But you can see it all on here, and there's good stuff here. So again, if you don't like the government stuff, you can go with a place like Golden State Mint, highly reputable, free shipping on domestics over $1.99. So you got the free shipping component there, and a lot of their pricing is very competitive, very good. But again, and one of the positives I forgot to mention for Silver Gold Bull is they do take, and a lot of these sites do, I think most of the ones I've pulled up take crypto now. So if you had like a Bitcoin or Ethereum or something you wanted to, I think most of them are just Bitcoin. And I learned something new. A lot of them don't stay in it. As soon as you buy your metal with Bitcoin, these guys convert it into US dollars within seconds. They have an actual program or whatever that does that. They take delivery of the crypto and then they convert it because they can't risk the volatility of crypto. So isn't that funny? I learned that recently. None of these sites that take crypto for metals keep it in crypto. They immediately convert it into dollars and then use it to cover their costs and such. Interesting fact, key point there. Now, AppMex, great site. So we've got Silver Gold Bull, got AppMex, used them for years, never had a problem. Right now, free shipping on orders over $1.99. They only have a 1 to 3 day delay, so you're going to get your order pretty quick. They have their volume pricing, so typically when you see their prices, it's their lowest. It's usually when you buy the most of that. They've got a good price typically I've seen on all the time on British sovereigns with a lot of volume coming in and out and good access to British sovereigns. So one of my favorite little gold pieces anyway. But, check out the prices. They've got, again, very reputable, very good, trustworthy precious metals site to take physical delivery of your precious metals and to place orders through confidently. I have never even heard of a problem with AppMex. Some people might have had one. I can tell you personally, I never have. I've always had a good time with them. Another great one, BGASC, Buy Gold and Silver Coins. This is a great site. I do recommend them. I have no problem with them. And I've ordered just recently, and I got a shipping order within 2 hours, I think, of ordering coinage from BGASC. And I got this is one of, I think, the first raid I ever did on this channel. We may have done this site. I got Silver Eagles from them. And they have great prices, as you can see. Let's look right here. They've got their, looks like their Silver Eagles are $35.42. Let's check out their Britannias real quick. We'll just check it real quick. I'll just see what they're at. I'm trying to see what you guys can get. Biggest bang for the bucks. I just want to see what they're... Why did I go to Royal Canadian Mint? I was looking for the Royal Mint. British Royal Mint. There you go.
Because nobody likes the Queen. The website...
Mrs. Maltby hates the Queen. That's right. All right. Doesn't look like they have any Britannias in stock right now. But again, I told you I wasn't going to run around looking at stuff, but here I am shopping all of a sudden. All right. We'll come back to it if we want to look for prices. SD Bullion, phenomenal. 5 to 10 business days. Not a bad wait right now. Not a bad wait. But again,
oh my gosh.
a great... They actually commented briefly. Recently, they commented on one of our videos. I couldn't believe it. I actually got a comment. I've never seen this happen before, but SD Bullion left a comment on one of my videos saying, "Hey, great job, Junius." I was like, how do you guys even know I exist? Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, the Brick Dictator came into the chat.
Oh, where's he at? Brick Dictator.
Every
Yeah,
time
I love
see
it.
That account,
We
makes
talk
me
about
laugh.
Brick Dictator because I love the name and we love the little image. It's the best. Yes, he knows all about the Craggle. AppMex sends you Christmas popcorn too. Right on. I didn't know that. Well, welcome, Brick Dictator, and thank you for the super chat. I don't know. I've never gotten popcorn from AppMex. I got a shirt from them once. And if you order enough stuff from AppMex, I think they send you like a nice little empty monster box case, which is always fun. Now, SD Bullion, phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. I can't say enough about them. Never a bad experience. Excellent prices, tracking, shipping, communication, feedback, you name it. I can't say enough good about them. They're great. They are phenomenal. Never a problem. Don't worry about it. This is a confirmed Junius Maltby. I endorse SD Bullion video. I love them. Never had a problem at all. Same with Money Metals Exchange. I think some of these are actually, and I don't know how it all works. I know there's parent companies sometimes, or big bullion guys that own little bullion guys, and they're kind of connected to each other. But Money Metals Exchange, this is another really good company. They are located in Idaho, one of the best in the USA, according to this little blue sticker here. But they do accept Bitcoin. They're not that the Better Business Bureau is that reliable for things, but they do have an A rating. I know some places get a bad rating for the BBB because anybody can really submit a negative rating through the BBB. But overall, Money Metals Exchange is pretty awesome. And again, good pricing, good shipping. And they say right here, well stocked on popular rounds. Look no further. So if you're interested, Money Metals Exchange is another, yes, good place to go. And it says moneymetals.com is their website. But yes, very good customer service and such when it comes to purchasing or acquiring a position in precious metals. JM Bullion, another one, very good. Yeah, I've gotten this question in the past. I'm laughing so hard. Oh, are you JM Bullion? Is that why you're Junius Maltby? No, I'm not. If I was JM Bullion, I wouldn't need I would be quietly somewhere else with all of my bullion, and I wouldn't sell any of it.
So funny.
But no, there's no relationship there. I am not JM Bullion. I wouldn't need to work for a living if I was, because I'd have all of their bullion. But it's a great site. Again, very easy to navigate. Very good. Their products are changing all the time. They get good inventory. They have reasonable, good pricing. You can shop around. You can compare your prices to others and just see what you get. Again, sometimes you might see a better deal on one silver product on JM Bullion versus a different silver product on SD Bullion. Try to compare like product to like product, but sometimes they'll have different deals going on. A lot of times you'll go to a website and one might have a really good deal that week on Britannias, and the other might have a really good deal on, let's say, Silver Eagles or Krugerrands that week. So it just depends. You don't know. You got to It's always kind of a guessing game. That's why I can't put down in here, this is the site that has the best deal all the time. It changes all the time and depends on the product. There's just too many different coins and bars and options to look at. And I don't know each one of your basic, whatever person in the chat or the comments is looking for. Some people might be shopping for a 100-ounce bar. Some people might be shopping for a half-ounce generic silver round. So big differences there in the two different products that you're looking to acquire. So I can't direct somebody unless we know exactly what they're looking for. But again, JM Bullion, very happy with them. I already told you Golden State Mint. We've had great experiences with them. Everybody has. Highly recommended by the stacking community. Good site, great products. Then there's this is just one of many, but I had a great experience recently with Jaeger poured silver. Now, this is a non-government, non-bullion dealer site. This isn't even like a big SD or JM Bullion. I mean, our chat crashed this site during a raid recently. Just going on here, but trying to buy 13 bars. These are smaller outfits. These are your independent pourers, your independent silver pourers and such. And these are great. I really like supporting these types of people. These are good. You might pay, now here's the thing, you might pay a little bit more sometimes. But if you just look up his basic, classic silver bars, you go look up let's go to a 5-ounce classic poured bar here. You might see prices that aren't that bad. I mean, $160 for a little 5-ounce bar here, not a bad deal. And then you're supporting, an independent, smaller pouring guy, and it's good. A lot of people in the community love Jaeger. I have had nothing but good experiences with Jaeger poured silver. So, and that's just one of many, but this is one that I put up here tonight just to kind of represent that smaller independent crowd of pourers. And it's one of the only ones that I can recall recently that I dealt with personally. There are others, the names slipping off the top of my head right now, Mart's bars or J Mart's, M Bart's, something like that. And some pirate themes, like there's different other companies that feature their products on YouTube as well as eBay. And you'll see different stackers in the stacking community recommending their stuff as well. So this is not just the only one, but it's one that I've recently dealt with and had phenomenal experience with. The pricing was great. The shipping was like a day later. So immediate shipping notification and just good service all around. Email accessible. Not going to run away with your money. Good people. Good people. Salt of the earth people, probably. Then there's Scottsdale. Now, if you're looking for non-government bullion, again, non-government, but you want some big chonky bars, some good stuff, Scottsdale is awesome. I just posted the thing that they wrote out. They sent kind of a letter out to everybody, customers, and they took a huge delivery, 103,000 ounces of silver they brought in. And of that 103,000 ounces, they were all spoken for. As you can see here, a lot of their stuff sold out. That's a beautiful half-ounce round, by the way. Sold out, though, of course. They've got a variety of bars. They've got highly machined, refined bars, the Stacker Bar series. They've got poured bars. They've got these little gold 1-ounce cast bars. And these you can get, these are actually pretty darn close to spot, some of the stuff. Things like this, because it's not a coin. It's just a poured, if you're just trying to get a little chunk of gold. They've got some beautiful products, though. Really good stuff. I really enjoy their bars, I got to say. Their buttons, their 5-ounce bars, their 100-gram bars, their 10-ounce bars. Any of their poured chunky loaf stuff is pretty cool. I mean, it's just straight-up pirate-looking things. Where are they at? Where's their bars? Here we go. I'll bring up their bars quick just to showcase them because I do enjoy looking at them. Here you go. This 20-ounce bar, this is like something you'd see. Let me move this over center for you. There, you guys can see it better. This is like something you would literally see on the Atosha. I mean, it's just a narrow, heavy 20-ounce bar of pure silver. Beautiful, beautiful bars. They've got their 5-ounce bar here, their 10-ounce chunky bar here. I love that one as well. Good bars. 100-gram bar here, sold out. Little poured loaf. But again, great site, good bang for the buck. I love Scottsdale Mint. And the biggest thing with them that I would say is this right now. And this could change. But I've seen this all year. Back in March, a year ago, they were having this problem. Their shipping delays are tremendous. These guys are working day and night. They're exhausted. 4 to 6 weeks from the date of payment clearing to where you're going to get your metal. Eagles, buffaloes, maples can be longer. So they're having a hard time sourcing those. And these are just estimates. So again, very long delays in acquiring Scottsdale mint. If you want to get a Scottsdale product and you want it like tomorrow for a gift, for example, you really want to get a Scottsdale mint product, really the best bet is going to find it on an alternative site. Some of these other bullion dealers carry Scottsdale mint products. You'll end up paying maybe a little more, I'm not sure. Or eBay. I have seen their stuff on eBay. A lot of people sell their stuff on eBay. And it's legit. You find a good dealer with a lot of good reviews and all this. You can get their stuff probably shipped the day your payment clears or the next day. And then there's Provident Metals. Providence, another great site. I've never had a bad experience. I've used them in the past. Phenomenal website. Great, easy to navigate, good prices. Look at this. I remember one of you just recommended the other day when we were doing a live. We had the Krugrands for $31.64. That's a great price right now. So good shipping, good prices, good in stock, good communications, free shipping on orders. You see this? They're all pretty much saying the same thing. If you have $199 or more, you're getting free shipping. So again, all of the ones I pulled up here are very, very comparable. There's not a lot of difference in them. And the differences that you will see will change product to product. One might have a better deal on one day for gold and the other a better deal on silver, and vice versa, depending on the day. It just depends. I mean, again, things shift, things change. And, Providence got over 1 million orders shipped, says right here, 40,000 plus reviews, shopper approved, all that stuff, again, and plus you got the Junius Maltby approval, which that should say something. I mean, I don't have a little cool stamp or anything they can put on here, but I like them. They're great. They're a good site. And that's it. Buy whatever you want, I'm not going to harp on somebody, like I've got plenty of coins with, here we go, watch Mrs. Maltby flip out. I've got plenty of coins with the Queen of England on it. You don't see me flipping at. Whatever, it's silver. What's she going to do, haunt me? Who cares? But
if you want to support an elitist, tyrannical...
Hey, maybe every time I look at it, it reminds me how much I dislike the royal family and everything they represent. Whatever. Tradition. It's tradition. Long-term tradition.
To someone's house who hates a particular person, but they have a framed picture of them over their fireplace. It makes no sense.
Yeah, maybe I spit at the picture every once in a while. I don't know. No. I like the artistry on the reverse of many of those coins are nice. And one day she won't be on them anymore because she won't exist.
Still the royals.
It'll be somebody else.
It's still an inbred.
It's true. It is still a snaggletooth inbred. We do know that. All right, that's it. Those are the sites I recommend. I mean, it was a long discussion on where I buy and don't buy gold and silver. But I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion today. I mean, this is just, again, my personal opinions. You don't have to go by it. It's just, these are my observations. I've been stacking longer than some people have been alive, and that's, but that doesn't mean anything again either. I could be dead wrong, but these are the sites that I oftentimes go to, refer to, and support. I've had the best experiences with the ones I've mentioned. And I mean, really, with as many as I just pulled up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different sites, I really don't see how you could have a problem outside of finding anything you would need on those 10. If one of those 10 can't meet your needs, you've got pretty bizarre specific needs. What else? Let's see. I recommend?
If you could free Mrs. Maltby and give me the mic for a moment.
Mrs. Maltby wants my, yeah. And then Mark Gutierrez is asking if I recommend. I don't like gold IRAs because if you don't hold it, you don't own it. I want the stuff delivered. I want it physical. I don't keep my metals in an IRA. If I've been having an IRA, which I don't have one, I would keep other investment products in there. But I don't. Keep it, have it physical, take it off the market. Yes, Mrs. Maltby.
This video was for the purpose of showing you some websites, but obviously we're not against anybody going to their local coin shop.
Absolutely.
And if you go a little bit further in the archives, there is a video on what to look for when you're trying to purchase on eBay There's some red flags and some things. There's a video about that. You can
Yep.
go back in time, find that one. If you guys know friends or you know smaller bullion companies, that's great. Support them too. We can't cover every single one of them in this video. We're just giving you guys the bigger, more generic ones that you can go to. But yeah, if you've got friends or you know people who have smaller companies that you want to support, that's fine. The point is to get silver off the market.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people live in rural areas or they don't have access.
We don't even have an LCS.
Yeah, we don't have I don't have a local coin store anywhere near me. And there's one that's somewhat. It's a drive, but when I get there, every single thing they have is more expensive than anywhere I could get online with shipping. No joke.
Right.
Like this guy charges $8 to $10 over spot every time on a Silver Eagle, no matter what time of year it is. He has no good diverse amount of any type of bullion. He only carries 1 or 2 bullion products on occasion.
And only American stuff.
Refuses to carry anything
Has
foreign.
no foreign
Yep.
stuff.
Zero foreign. Like you'll never see a Britannia. You'll never see anything like that in
the
there.
guy's
And
trash.
not a big fan. I firmly support a local coin store. I wish I had a good one near me. I wish I had a local one. I'd go there every day. I'd go there and drink coffee. I would probably ask the guy for a job so that when I retired, I could work behind the counter. It's one of my dreams would be to just work in a little coin shop behind the counter, bring donuts in the morning for the old guys that come in, chit chat, talk their ear off, look at coins, sip coffee all day, and that would be great. All right, that is the end of tonight's video. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the Junius Maltby channel. To everyone who was here and participated, we thank you. Leave a comment, leave a like, and thanks for seeing us, and we'll see you next time.